Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Krystle Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Nice. Enjoying this nice morning.
It's nice and not too hot, not too a Goldilocks.
But you feel the humidity, though.
Yeah, well, anytime we get any kind of rain chance, it
We get one drop of rain and we get 100% humidity with no rain.
and 30,000 mosquitoes.
Yes. Mosquitoes are horrible. And we typically are not a hot spot for heartworm, but
This is a good time
this is a good time of the year to make sure that your animals are on the heart guard. If they haven't been heartworm tested, get them heartworm tested to get them on the heart guard.
Before you can feed them the heart guard,
Yes.
you have to get because if they have heartworm and you give them the heart guard, it's
It'll
going to kill them. There is another treatment for the dog if the dog already has heartworm. So you
and
do
depending
have to
on the stage, depends on what the treatment is.
Okay. So please just don't, because I don't even know if you can buy heart guard without a vet's.
No, you have to have a prescription for
yeah.
it because you have to have a valid negative test.
Gotcha.
But we are not typically a hotspot. We've had a lot more moisture recently than we typically do, which has enhanced the mosquitoes times 1,000.
I always gave it to our dog, even though it wasn't a hot spot, but it was because it's really easy to give it.
It covers other things other than heartworm. It helps with fleas and ticks and deworming.
Mm-hmm. And it's the easiest medicine to give an animal.
I'm telling you, my dogs are like,
Yeah, I the biggest problem I had with it was only giving her one. She wanted more than one. I'm like, no, not for another month, dude.
One a month.
Yeah. But yeah, that one's very easy. But
so a simple trick for that is, find their other favorite treat, give them one of their favorite treats, give them the heart guard, and then give them another favorite treat right after. So therefore, they've received multiple treats, but only one heart guard.
In their head, they feel like they got their prize.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just out of curiosity, is there, with a dog that is suffering from heartworm, is there any signs or is it unnoticeable?
So the beginning signs typically are like lack of energy.
Okay.
But also sometimes there are no beginning signs.
Okay. That's why it's important to get this test.
It is very important. And a lot of the times, sometimes heartworm mimics congestive heart failure.
Okay.
Because the heartworms are basically
attacking the heart.
They're in the heart, attacking the heart. So they are essentially congestive heart failure, just not the typical type that we deal with, like with Lasix and other treatments for that. But in reality, watching your pet's energy level, listening to their breathing, watching how they breathe, sometimes they'll start to develop like a deeper chest, like dachshunds, how they have a deep barrel chest, like they'll get like a fat pouch.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because the heart is swelling.
Oh, wow. So, okay. That makes sense. But so please don't, like if your friend gives you some and I got some left, don't give it to your dog.
Don't. Unless you have a test. Because one of the preventatives that helps keep heartworms dead can kill your dog if your dog has heartworms.
Gotcha.
So basically the treatment for heartworm is ivermectin.
Okay.
And I believe doxycycline.
Okay.
But those are IV injectables.
Gotcha.
So you can't just go buy them over the counter and give it to your animal.
Right.
They have to be administered a certain time.
Sure.
And depending on the stage of heartworms, because they have different stages. If it's in the final stage, it's not treatable.
Gotcha.
So if it's in the first two stages, you are. The third, iffy.
Okay.
And the fourth is no treatment.
So if you start seeing signs, get them to the vet the earlier the better.
Think of heartworm as cancer.
Gotcha.
You have stage 1 and stage 4.
Gotcha.
So you want to catch this before it's in stage 1.
Got it. Okay. Got it. So just keep that stuff in mind. And the easy thing is just make an appointment with your vet, have them screen for a heartworm.
It's not expensive. $40, $50 a test, minus taxes or whatever, you test them once. And then once you start them on the heart guard, you don't have to retest them again.
Yeah, as long as you keep them steady on the heart guard.
Yes, they have to stay on the heart guard. You can't have any lapses.
Right.
And it's
one a month. One cookie basically a month.
And you buy it in a 6-pack.
Yeah.
A doggy 6-pack.
That's right.
You buy it in a 6-pack, so you buy it for 6 months at a time, and then you have that coverage for that time. It's one of the easiest things to do, one of the cheapest things to do to help prolong your animal's life.
Yeah, absolutely. And so please, like you said at the beginning here, yeah, we're not in a high area for that to be a constant problem, but with the humidity, with the things, it's increased than when it normally is.
So if you live east, on the east side of town, anywhere near the Pecos, where the Pecos overflowed from the flooding, mosquitoes are amplified. I live out there. Mosquitoes are amplified. Like, I have to spray myself inside my house before going outside, because the second I open my door, it's boom.
Man.
So they make mosquito spray for dogs and cats. They sell it at Petco. It's lemongrass, catnip, and can't remember the third ingredient in it, but it's an all-natural spray.
Okay.
It's very strong odored.
All right.
I sprayed it on myself, and my husband said, "What did you spray?" And I was like,
"It's my new cologne."
I was like, "Well, I'm trying the dog's flea and tick or mosquito spray before I put it on them." And he's like, "Yeah." So it keeps your husband away if you don't want him around.
If you need less friends, try some for yourself.
But as you see me itching mosquito bite, it seemed to help for them.
Good.
But if you're on the east side of town, close to the river, I feel your pain. The mosquitoes are horrible over there, and even our horse was just covered in mosquitoes, and the spray that we put on him for the flies covers mosquitoes too.
Okay.
But because of how much rain we got, and then the water, you have to reapply it more often than you normally would, because the humidity makes you sweat.
Sure.
So you
sweat it off, and then you got to reapply.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, but Petco has it if you're looking for some.
And it's an all-natural mosquito spray for dogs.
Gotcha. Probably do that instead of off or whatever you put on people.
Yeah, you can't put DEET on dogs.
Yeah.
That's very toxic to them.
Okay.
So you want to get the all-natural stuff that's specific for dogs, and that way you're making sure that you're not harming them while you're trying to protect them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good deal. But like I said, swing by, get some, and just be mindful of this stuff, even though this is a little different than we're normally used to as far as humidity and things. Normally, these aren't things we concern ourselves too much with, but because of the rains, this is one of those things to protect your dogs. Just one more layer of protection there for you. So good deal.
It is, and it doesn't hurt to be overcautious.
Absolutely. And like I said, the heartworm thing is literally the easiest medicine you've ever given anything ever. It's literally like just feeding your dog treats. That's all it is.
I give my dogs Brevecto for the flea and ticks, and they hear the foil for the wrapper, and they're like, "Oh." Oh.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because, like, I can open anything else and they're typically like, but they know that foil. They know that sound. So I started opening it in the car.
Oh, to get a preemptive.
Yeah, because if I do it in the house, Titus is like monster. So he's like, "Hi, Mom."
Right.
Mine.
Like, oh, that's for me, isn't it? I'll take that.
Yeah. And so when you've got the big dog here and then Toby, which is not the big dog anymore,
right.
The big dog tries to take both treats, and I'm like, no.
No, can't do that. One per. But yeah, so please get that done. Let's talk what's available at the shelter right now.
So,
how are pets looking?
We are full.
Okay.
But currently we are closed because we have 2 employees out with COVID.
Okay.
So I have a skeleton crew.
Okay. So the
we were hoping to reopen today, but she tested positive again.
Oh, man, too bad.
I have to wait for her to test negative, so that way I at least have one person back.
So hopefully the next day or two.
Hopefully by Wednesday we should be back open because she has to retest in 5 days.
Okay, so we'll be a couple more days here. What about the thrift store?
The thrift store's open.
Okay.
Everybody's good over there.
Good. Okay.
They have a ton of stuff. And actually they have a ton of fishing stuff.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you were a fisher, they've got jigs, they've got poles, they've got lures, they've got floating bobbers.
Oh, okay.
I bought $250 worth of it yesterday.
Nice.
And there's still a crap ton more.
Good.
There's fly fishing stuff, there's catfish and stuff, there's bass, there's trout.
All right. So you got a little. So this Saturday is the Dragonfly Festival, And of course, the BLM will have their kids' fishing pool and everything out there. Maybe if you want to teach your child fishing, go head over to the thrift store, pick up some fishing gear, and then take it with you out to the Dragonfly Festival on Saturday and break it in. Give it a try. Yeah. So, yeah.
And it's funny because the person who donated it is very organized. And like when I saw this stuff, I was like, "Oh man, we could be friends."
Huh? Yeah.
Because they had like styrofoam, like that you put like for the fake flowers to keep them in a pot. Mm-hmm. They had the jigs perfectly poked in through the styrofoam, and I was like, "Oh man," ranged in sizes. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, there's some OCD going on there.
They share my OCD, and my husband started laughing. I was like, "Look," and he's like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay."
We smell our kind. We know.
And I was like, to make it even more funny, I had just ordered a new check ledger for a checking account. Well, the little ones that normally come with the checks, when I ordered checks, they didn't come with it. Oh. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I just ordered one on Amazon. Well, I ordered a spiral one. And I told my husband, I was like, look what came in the mail today. I was like, how do you know you're a dork and an adult? You get happy over a check ledger. And he's like, okay.
But it seems so important.
I was like, organization.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid and especially when I was like 16, I started working at fast food place, the stuff teenagers work at. And I remember when they'd get out their checkbooks, and it was always that ledger one, the big notebook with the spiral. And
yep.
And I remember it's like, you got to be important to have one of those. You know what I mean? It just looks more important. Like, let me write you a check, and you whip out this big book and all that.
Yeah.
And I always remembered when I was a kid, I was like, I'm going to do that someday. I never have, because checks went the way of the dodo. But yeah, I never did do it.
I still write checks.
I write 2 checks a year, depending on like my American Legion dues, I write a check for every year. If I ever get a speeding ticket, you have to write a check when you go up to the courthouse.
So is that your one speeding ticket a year?
Yeah, I get one a year. That's whether I need it or not. No. Of course, I haven't got one in a few years, but that's the last time. Right now, I just jinxed myself.
Yeah.
If you see me out and about today, officers, please hook a brother up. Just cut me a break.
Leadfoot Winters. He's trying to speed Winter to us quicker than we need it.
That's right. Yeah. I'm important. I need to go fast.
The weather will not change unless I'm going fast.
That's right.
Do you want to be sweaty? I didn't think so.
Do you realize who you're dealing with?
Oh, man. But yes, so very organized fishing stuff.
Good deal. So probably well maintained and well taken care of.
Very
too, if it's well organized.
And it's funny because some of the bobbers that we bought, he has the original package that he bought it in. So after he used it, he'd put it back in that package, or if they were even used, because the majority of them look brand new.
Brand new.
So there's probably well over $1,000 worth of just lures and jigs and bobbers and
you get it for pennies on the dollar right now.
Yep.
So that's great. And that's probably just scratching the surface. Like if you're looking for small appliances, clothing, any of that kind of stuff.
A ton of blankets,
home
school
decor
stuff. They got a lot of school stuff, a lot of home decor, a lot of wall decorations. Really cool, cute ones from Hobby Lobby that they discontinued, so they sent them over to us.
I imagine they'll be busting out Halloween stuff here pretty quick too.
I believe they already have some of the Halloween stuff out. I don't think they have all of it out, but I do think that they already have some of it out.
Good.
I know that they were talking about getting the costumes out here soon. They were just trying to clear out an area to set the big costume rack up.
Sure.
Lots of clothes. Always having different sales on clothes. Anytime you walk in, there's a whiteboard on the left-hand side of the wall. Any sale of the day is going to be listed on the whiteboard. So if it's backroom half off or if it's clothing half off, it's going to be written on that board.
Perfect. Very good. And I'm telling you, if you love to decorate for the holidays, Halloween, Christmas, if you're not visiting the thrift store first before you go buy it, then you're crazy, because literally people donate this stuff. It's used once or barely used. Costumes, decor, doesn't matter. People just, the plastic pumpkins, all that stuff. You go to the big box store and buy it brand new, you're getting it for a tenth of the price. And it's the same stuff. It literally is nothing wrong with it, and you're getting it for a tenth of the price.
And the majority of the costumes are always $2.
Yeah, and worn once most of the time, or not at all, depending on, I didn't like that costume. I want this costume,
Right, and if you have a picky kid who changes their mind like every 5 minutes, take them to the thrift store, let them pick out a $2 costume. When they change their mind, you take them back, let them pick out another $2 costume.
And return that one and sell it again and pay another $2 for another one. And you're helping the Humane Society every single time doing that. So.
All proceeds go to helping the animals in care. Go to maintaining the building, the thrift store, and, upkeeping needs that need to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you are looking to adopt a pet, like she said, because of the COVID outbreak there, that there's the actual shelter's closed right now.
We are closed, but you can still look at them on the website.
Yeah, go to the website, roswellhumane.org. You go there, and you can see every single animal that's calling the Humane Society home right now.
Yes.
So if you see not available next to that picture, that just means they're in quarantine, either because of they're trying to make weight or they're new to the shelter and they haven't been updated with the
they need more
vaccinations and that stuff, or something along those lines. They will be available for adoption as soon as they meet those goals.
Yes, and then if you call, leave a message. We will return calls. It's just right now we're on a skeleton crew. We are currently hiring again. My last employee's husband got a better job out of Roswell, so
it happens.
Yeah, so I am no longer full staffed. We are short staffed again.
So if someone loves working with animals, loves that stuff, full-time job,
kennel worker.
Yeah.
Come in, bring a resume, cover letter.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll be back open on Wednesday. If you come by and we're still closed, there's a mail slot on the door. Slide it through the mail slot. I'll get it, and then hopefully we can get somebody in there pretty quickly.
Yeah, and of course, if you have any questions in the meantime, the Roswell Humane Society does have a Facebook page. You can shoot a message through there, and someone will.
And that goes directly to my phone. So
good deal. So that's a great way to.
If I'm not scrubbing cages, I'm trying to keep up on emails and messages. So
well, and that's a great way. So if you're thinking like tomorrow or maybe next Wednesday, like, hey, is it open yet? And you don't want to, go check. You'll see a message there on the Facebook page.
However, gas prices have gone down a little bit. Still not enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No kidding. But in the meantime, please support the thrift store. Come shop. Donate as well. Obviously, if it's bigger ticket, bigger items, things like that, please call before you want to donate to make arrangements for that kind of stuff.
If you need it picked up, schedule a pickup.
Yeah, because there is so much room for storage and things. And
unfortunately, we need a bigger kennels and a bigger thrift store. But the only problem is, the bigger you get, the more you need help with, and then it's a never-ending cycle.
It's a slippery slope. Yep. It's like, we got more space. That means we got more stuff. We need more people to maintain it. Yeah. It's a thing. But it's thanks to the generosity and support of the community we are in a great situation there as far as a lot of great stuff to shop for and a lot of great pets that are looking for homes right now.
Yes. If we have any Labradoodle fans out there, we have 3 F1 Labradoodles.
Nice. 2
females, 1 male. They're all from the same litter.
Okay.
We know they're F1 because the actual breeder released them to us.
Okay. So they're, I guess, got their papers or whatever it is, AKC, whatever it is called.
I don't think that they filed their papers.
Okay.
Or we at least didn't get a copy of it.
Oh, gotcha.
But,
okay.
There are Lulu, Winston, and Maybelline are their names.
All right.
Maybelline's just about to get her second set of vaccinations, and then she'll be coming out of quarantine soon, too. But Lulu and Winston are already out of quarantine.
All right, number 3 right around the corner here. So hopefully next week.
Any Labradoodle fans?
Very good.
We got 3.
Good deal. And, of course, how are the cats right now? Are that pretty full, too?
A lot of cats. A lot of younger cats. We're in the 3 to 6 month range of cats. We do have a couple 4-year-olds. 2 are Russian blues. They basically are twins.
Okay.
They're all from the same household. And then we have a black and white. He's 4 years old. And then we have a female tortoiseshell who's 4 years old.
Okay. So mostly younger, but a good mix there if you want something that's more full grown and not as kitten-like.
Yeah, we only have 4 adults right now. The rest are younger kittens, anywhere from 3 months to 6 months of age.
And that's probably good for the adoption because I'm sure kittens get adopted way more often than a adult cat does.
And then when you have a slew of kittens, you have somebody, I want an adult cat. And I'm like, I just had 18 of them like 2 months ago. Where were you? So it never fails. When you have it, nobody wants it. When you don't have it, everybody wants it.
It's like Chihuahuas. If everyone wants a Chihuahua, there wouldn't be one to be found. But the moment that people stop looking, you've got 30 of them. So it's just the way it is. So, and Chihuahuas are probably that most, as far as fluctuating popularity breed there, because they are always in this area very popular, but they have a rash of them, and then no one wants them, and then you see a bunch of them, and then they start getting adopted, and then people looking for Chihuahuas, and they're none to be had.
We used to say Chihuahuas are a dozen in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. They're not a dime a dozen; they're a dozen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So, but if you're looking, please go to the Humane Society's website.
Yes.
Peruse the photos there. And then, of course, check back if you're interested in adopting or want more information about one of the pets. And like I said, next week we can hopefully set something up and get that process going. So
yeah, and if you're looking for a job, swing by. Like I said, unfortunately we are closed because of COVID. But slip one through the mail slot.
Your daily duties basically is tending to the needs of those pets, cleaning cages, making feeding them, changing litter, cleaning up, interacting, playing with the pets, doing all the
brushing.
Yeah.
The unfun part is the poo part, but that's
basically being a mommy or daddy for all the pets there at the shelter.
And a lot of people ask, how do you do it? It's not hard. It's really the majority of your physical labor is carrying a shovel and hauling dog food.
Yeah.
So, a lot of walking, but not a lot of, back-breaking physical labor.
Yeah,
no.
You're just going back and forth tending. Obviously it gets a little loud in there because it's a bunch of animals barking and meowing. But yeah,
so they really are quiet unless it's a stranger.
Okay.
Once they're familiar with you, they don't bark a lot.
It gets so pretty cool and calm in there.
When like on days we're close to the public naturally and you're in there cleaning, like when you first get there, they're like, "Oh hi," and then they're like, "Ah, it's you." And then they're like, "Oh wait, you're the lady that feeds us."
That's right. It's like, "Oh, food time." Yeah.
Hi. So, but for the most part, once they're used to you, they don't bark a lot.
Gotcha.
Very calm. You have your crazy dogs, but. Sure. And cats, but that's with everybody. So
absolutely, yeah. You always get the one that's just excited, round up all the time. So
you get the one that just has no calm.
Yeah,
has no chill.
You wonder how you can harness that energy and put it towards good. But we got to figure out some kind of gene or something you can put into people to do that.
So we have a dog who's currently at my boss's house getting a bath because she. Is a hot mess, and her name is Coco.
Okay.
Well, Coco has some birth defects.
Okay.
Her jaw is hinged to where her mouth only opens literally a quarter of an inch.
Oh man.
But she also has her upper jaw never developed a bone, so it's curled under like this.
Oh wow.
And she has a crooked face.
So she have trouble eating and doing all those things?
She eats on one side of her mouth. She can't eat big bites. She has to have small bites.
Okay.
And obviously somebody bottle fed her and took care of her. But she was found as a stray that we got from animal control. And she's a poodle mix. She's a ball of energy. I mean, a ball of energy. She's like the atom ball, like, when you drag your fingers around on the electric thing. That's her. So I wish my boss.
A happy dog.
She's happy. She loves everything. She loves everybody. She does have brachiocephalic, where that means her palate is not fully pulled forward, so she breathes like a bulldog.
Gotcha. Okay.
But dogs like that heat stroke and overheat a lot quicker than normal, and because of how her jaw is and her sinus cavities, there's nothing blocking it, but she has to have her nose cleaned every day, so she always has like a little bit of boogers on her nose.
Okay. So she needs a little bit more maintenance than other animals.
She's somebody who she needs to go with somebody who's got the time to take care of her needs, but she's also a super fast learner.
Okay.
She knows how to sit, she knows how to shake, she knows how to lay down, and she knows how to roll over.
So she'll fall into a routine probably pretty easily.
Super easy.
But you just got to do more work with her because she needs more care than others.
The pepperoni treats, we break them into tiny pieces for her. And so when we have her out and we're working with her, you tell her sit, she sees that pepperoni, she sits, lays down, high fives, and then rolls over all in one. And I'm like, you don't have to do 4 tricks for 1 treat, sweetheart. Come here.
Yeah, she's like, I'll do it all. What's the routine? I got it.
So, and it's funny because like she goes so fast when she's doing it, like she tries to high five before she lays down. So she's like, hi. But she's super sweet. She has a lot of energy, but I think a lot of that energy will calm down when she has, natural area to run in and exercise on a regular basis.
Yeah.
My boss is going to call me telling me she's exhausted today because of her energy, because she has a lot of energy. But she's a very sweet dog. She did great for the grooming. She's a little bit of a handful when you got to clean her face because she doesn't like her nose cleaned. But she's like a toddler, who's got a runny nose that you're chasing after to clean.
Right.
That's her. She's like, no, no, these are mine. I'm keeping them.
But I think, once you do it every day and get the routine with her, she'll probably, you know what I mean?
She does. After a while, she's like,
fine, get it over with.
She becomes that teenager with a sigh.
Right. Sounds like a very fun dog, though, to have in the home.
And her looks, like when you look at her, like her mouth is like this. So she's crooked, and then she's like, hi. And like she's just bouncing.
So it's like she's very cute in her ugly way kind of thing. It's like an ugly dog, but it's so cute at the same time. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So hopefully we'll find her a home here pretty soon. So.
Yeah, she needs a good home. She needs a home that's going to tend to her special needs and love her for all her flaws.
Cool. And I'm sure she'll bring so much to a family that is willing to embrace and love her. So
she's a super happy dog. I'm telling you, if you need some, what do they call it in your brain when serotonin release? She's gonna release your serotonin. I had to think of what the name was. What's that called?
Very cool. So hopefully come see her next week when everything hopefully opens back up here. So everyone gets healthy again.
Yes.
So again, RoswellHumane.org is the website. You can of course come by the thrift store. Well, here in about 15 minutes.
They'll be opening up.
Yeah, 203 or not? Is it 203? It's East McGaffey.
703.
East McGaffey. That's the word I was naming. 203. I think that's the furniture store.
I think so too. I was like, no, we're a few more blocks down.
Yeah. East McGaffey. There, the Humane Society is right next door to Animal Control. So if you're looking for pets, walk right next door to Animal Control and see the selection they've got right now.
No, if you are missing a pet, as in like it got picked up, look at Animal Control.
Okay.
Right now we're only taking in owner releases because we have a waiting list still of animals needing to come into the shelter from owners surrendering.
Okay.
So we're very limited on intaking of strays.
Gotcha.
Depending on the size of the dog and if I have a smaller kennel or medium kennel available, we have taken in some recently, just not very many. The majority of everything that's in the shelter is an owner release.
Gotcha. Okay. So change that by adopting a bunch of animals and free up some open space there.
Yeah.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so.
Good deal. Any I guess there's probably not any events coming up or anything since you guys are pretty short staffed.
No, we were going to be at Tractor Supply this weekend, and then Terry is the one who helps us when we do our events. And I was like,
Yeah. Well, maybe here in a week or so we can get back on that schedule.
Yeah, I'm
again,
hoping that we get back to normal. Everything back in operations of Wednesday of next week.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
That she's negative.
Yeah, and I imagine, is she showing signs like feeling?
She doesn't feel very well either.
Oh, okay,
so...
okay. I didn't know, like if she was feeling good, just negative, but well, get healthy first. That's more important.
Yeah, so. She's not feeling very well. When I talk to her, she's like, I have like 5 minutes of energy and then I'm down, and I'm like, no, stay home.
Yeah.
Stay home.
That's not going to be very helpful. 5 minutes of work, but
no, 5 minutes of work for a 2-hour recoup.
Yeah. It doesn't quite, math don't work out yet. So.
Nope.
Well, as always, appreciate it.
Yes, thank you guys.
We'll see you next time here. And of course, RoswellHumane.org. If you're looking for, check out the pets. If you want to become a member, great way to learn about all the different ways and what and whom and what can become a member. So
new memberships are coming up due after October.
Okay.
When we send out the October newsletter, it'll have the new membership forms on it for 2023.
Okay.
If you're not a member and you want a membership form, You can get one online, or you can even call and I'll mail you one, whatever.
Very good. It's a great way to support the Humane Society when, especially if you adopted all your allotted animals you're going to be adopting. Another great way to keep supporting is becoming a member. So.
Here, let me pack you up a patch of pups, and then
that's right.
Here you go.
Yeah, you don't want that. So, well, thank you, Krystle, as always. We'll see you next time. It is closing in on 9:50. Let's go ahead and get you up